What's going on, everyone? I am just a typical, average American here today to react to some recent news concerning Canada and the United States. And it's like deja vu, because we just keep reliving the same thing over and over. We're stuck in a loop forever, or hopefully not forever, but apparently Trump is now threatening 10% tariffs against Canada. For what reason? Who knows? I mean, tariffs haven't helped the United States one bit. As a matter of fact, it's the opposite. Tariffs have actively hurt us, and tariffs were deemed illegal recently by the US Supreme Court. So you're not even allowed to do this, if you're the president. According to our own Constitution, you're not even supposed to be doing it this way. So why are we doing this to Canada now? Again, who knows? I mean, your guess is as good as mine, because the first time that we enacted tariffs against Canada, like a year ago, a year and a half ago, it was because of drugs. Drugs, yeah, okay, that's what it was. Just tons of drugs pouring in from Canada, just untold amounts, all 3 kilograms of it. Yeah, so that was the rationale somehow before, and I don't know what it is now, but I'm guessing it's equally as stupid, to be honest. So today, I do want to learn more about this and try to understand what the hell we're doing. So let's take a look.
From a Canadian perspective, right off the bat, let me just say it is quite a flex for the United States Trade Representative to meet with his closest neighbor and trading partner, and then later that evening fire off this new determination as a result of this investigation.
Is that how it went down? What are we doing? It's like we're trying our hardest to make Canada mad. I actually wouldn't doubt that is part of our thought process in our government. Like, aside from just dumb, misinformed, backwards policy decisions, like, just being disagreeable and annoying seems like we're going out of our way to do it. And it's insane to say, but it just feels like that's the state of where the US and the US government is at right now, because we had the Canadian trade representative like over to the US, they said, to like talk, which is good. We need to open that line of communication because of the big CUSMA trade deal that needs to be talked about and possibly renewed between Canada and I think Mexico and the United States. And that's a big thing that's coming up that the United States hasn't really, talked about enough and negotiated about, or I think we have a little, and we've made like some outrageous demands or something. So it's really gone nowhere. So it was kind of nice to hear that the Canadian trade representative was in like Washington, in the U.S., chatting with our trade reps, and then immediately after that meeting, they're saying like 10 minutes later, an hour later, we announce this. That is a slap to the face. There's no other way to say it. That is like a literal fu to have that meeting, especially if the meeting went well, and then this immediately happens once the Canadian leaves the room. We announce this. That is insulting.
The Trump administration needed to find a new guise, a new legal means for imposing blanket global tariffs. What Donald Trump wants to bring in big revenue to allow him to pay for other things.
Yeah. Um, the tariffs, the cost of tariffs on the businesses importing goods from Canada has definitely been felt here in the United States. The cost of goods here has definitely risen. It's a disaster. Everyone knows it. Everyone feels it here. And then this whole war with Iran thing is just exacerbating that whole. It's getting pretty insane, to be honest. So she's saying that the president of the United States, the Supreme Court said that the president doesn't have any legal right to do these blanket tariffs on all these countries, and at least the way Donald Trump was doing it. So she's just saying that he would have to find a different legal justification to be able to do these sorts of tariffs, which are we saying that he has actually accomplished that? Because it was kind of, for a while here now, at least a few months, it's been like not much talks about tariffs. And man, when I tell you that's been nice. That has been so nice, such a relief, like a vacation. And now it's back. So there's now some convoluted, like some Donald Trump lawyer found some cockamamie way to make that you can do tariffs, I guess. So this is now, this threat is back on the table. So I'm guessing we're going to be hearing this kind of thing a lot more now again.
That need has been urgent since the Supreme Court struck down its previous tariff strategy, the temporary Plan B tariffs that it put in place since then have also been panned by the courts. This particular forced labor probe was so broad, so vague, that the conclusion reached last evening was probably a foregone one. There are international markers set out to protect workers worldwide of what forced labor is. We're talking about human rights violations in the workplace, things that, as the USTR's determination notes.
Huh? Hold on. What are we talking about here? Forced labor? Like workers' rights? Are you? I don't know how this relates to tariffs at all. Are they saying that Donald Trump is somehow using some kind of forced labor like clause as some kind of justification for tariffs? Like we can put tariffs on countries with forced labor? Is that honestly what we're going with? It's amazing because like from the outside perspective, and from here in the US as an American, like when you think Trump or our government or our country can't one up itself, can't get any dumber, can't get any more ridiculous, it does. It's like a movie. It's like, but you couldn't make it up. It'd be difficult to write a movie this insane. It's real life. We're somehow going to start doing tariffs again by using forced labor rights as some legal basis. That's how you know this whole thing is such a sham. Dare I say scam? I don't know what this is. It's an abomination. That's what I want to say. Because when the U.S. Supreme Court struck down tariffs, the way that Donald Trump was doing tariffs, as an American, to me, it's like, okay, that is the governing court, that is the Supreme Court, the ruling body. They make the final say on that sort of thing. According to our Constitution and the laws of our land, tariffs are not going to be a thing. That's how it is. That's how the rules work. We follow rules here. Very good. Okay, that's that. It's obvious Trump is working so hard to get around what the common sense and the rules and the laws of our Constitution, really, by doing this, by forcing a way to do this. Like, I guess it's two things. It's terrible that he's doing tariffs against Canada again and threatening that, and tariffs, the whole tariff thing is bad and annoying. And then on top of that, from like an American perspective, he's perverting our system of like rules and law and what you're supposed to be able to do and the balance of power, and by forcing, like, the Supreme Court said you can't do this, and now he's finding a way to do it. Like, and that's, to me as an American, that is very, very wrong.
Are unfair because first they hurt the profitability of firms that play by the rules, but they also distort labor markets and punish workers that are fairly paid in the global economy. Fortunately, as with the earlier fentanyl emergency tariffs, CUSMA compliant goods are exempt here. That
Right. So the drug fentanyl Canada thing was just to make it so tariffs could that Trump could do tariffs. I think he knew the whole fentanyl from Canada was like a big that was fake. Like that was, maybe there's a little, sure, okay, fine. But as the whole basis for the tariffs, and now, I mean, if I understand correctly, we're doing that, but with forced labor. It's all I can do is shake my head, like shake my head sometimes. Like it's all you can do,
it's
and rant about it.
obviously good news for Canada. It is written right into the CUSMA agreement that goods made with forced labor are prohibited from that trade. There
Okay.
are, though, nearly 75 pages of exemptions in what was released overnight. Things specifically to provide some relief from this new tariff for American consumers on goods that are already quite price inflated. You think about things that have
Why are we? It just begs the question: why are we doing this? If, okay, we threaten 10% tariffs, and then in that same breath we say, but 99% of goods are exempt because the tariffs are kind of hurting American citizens. Are we just admitting that this is all stupid and pointless, but we're doing it anyway? But exempting everything? Can anyone make this make any sense?
have been in the headlines a lot: beef, coffee, pharmaceutical products, very politically sensitive. These latest tariffs do not stack on top of other tariffs on things like steel and aluminum.
Okay.
Again, the business community
Okay.
already upset about those. And this
Then what is this a tariff on? It really just feels like the tariff doesn't matter. It's more like Trump wants a way to threaten people and doesn't really think about what even the threat is. Just like he just wants a threat.
process, it doesn't take effect right away. Traders can get sort of trading over the next few weeks to get in there before they hit. There will be a series of consultations over the next few weeks. One thing I would watch for in that is discussion of whether this new tariff is proportionate to the harm. That is a principle in international trade law. They've put on a blanket tariff on everything.
Oh, I don't even want to know how much international trade law the United States has violated over the last year or more. I can't even imagine.
Just because of the sins of a few specific kinds of goods.
Wow. Well, I think I understand things more clearly, and I more clearly understand that this is insane. This, I understand what we're doing, and at the same time, none of it makes any sense to me. How only in this time could such a contradiction be our reality or something like that? Someone get that tattooed on them. That's a that's a statement right there. I don't even know what I just said. But I also want to take a quick look at this little clip. Trump said something about Canada at a recent, I think it was meeting with farmers. He's like campaigning for midterms, and he made a statement about Canada. So, and tariffs are. So let's see what it is.
Canada treats you guys rough, you know? Canada, they put on big tariffs. We didn't meet them with tariffs. I took care of it my first term really strongly, and I am now, but Canada's been very rough.
What? Man, that, it's like, you know, the smelling salts, like weightlifters have like these salts you smell, and it like straight to your brain and just fries your brain, but it kind of wakes you up. This is like that, but it kind of dulls your brain and makes you like dumber somehow for having heard it. What? So, Canada, you're the ones. Very unfair. Very unfair the way you've been treating us. Canada been tariffing us, and now Trump is telling the American farmers out there all that. So I don't know. I don't even want to dignify this with like a real response.
November midterm election.
Is that it? That was the statement? Canada, very bad. That's what he's going with. And very unfair. Canada, unfair. Yeah. I know I keep saying this, but you can't make it up. You really can't. So yeah, this was just like an interesting development I wanted to take a look at because I think we're all kind of just in limbo waiting to see. It's been months where we've been waiting for the Kuzma trade deal negotiation to happen or not happen or something to happen, and it's finally like the deadline's coming up. So this is just like one little rocky this is actually kind of important moment leading up to that. That's, to me, I hope like this isn't setting the stage for failure for that negotiation, but you can't. What else is it doing? I don't know. Like it really does seem like that this Kuzma negotiation, a new trade deal between Canada and the US, when you see stuff like this every other day, that it's destined for failure. But I don't know. Maybe the only thing you can do is just wait and see for now, I suppose. But this certainly tells me not to get my hopes too high. And yeah, it's just disappointing to see that a lot of time has gone by now, and we're still talking about doing tariffs to Canada and how everyone is so bad and we are good, and like that's still where we're at. It's just a bunch of backwards and lies, and yeah, it's not good. It's not good, but it's good to be informed about it. So anyway, if you enjoyed this, feel free to give this video a like or leave a comment with your thoughts on this whole situation and the possibility of new tariffs, 10% blanket tariffs with tons of exemptions, though. I don't know. Your thoughts on that? That'd be cool to hear about, especially if you're Canadian, hearing the Canadian side of things for this. And if you're interested in more videos like this, me reacting to Canadian things happening that I haven't seen before or heard about, or if you're interested in more of that, feel free to subscribe. And until then, thanks for watching, and see you next time.